Yo, what's up you guys? It's K-State here, and today we're going to be making a sort of wood flute sort of sound inside of Sylenth. Very easy to do actually, so we're going to be making two presets. We'll get to that in a sec. Let's just go ahead and play this so you get an idea of what this sounds like. So obviously this is very Legend of Zelda inspired. I ended up making a whole preset bank out of it, and now it's on my website, so now you guys can go check that out, get it if you want. At the very end of the video, I'll play some more sounds from it so you know what you're going to be getting if you decide to check it out. But for now, let's just go ahead and put one preset up so you guys can go ahead and just get that down. Just pause the video, copy it down, get it down. And after that, we'll make a new preset from an initialized patch together. So we'll be making a much more simple patch from scratch, but you'll get this one for sure. So go ahead, pause, copy now. Alright, so the preset we're going to be making from scratch, or sort of following kind of the same idea of it, is number 5. So number 5 is a flute sound, so it sounds like this. Real fast, let's just go ahead and also hear what the initialized sound sounds like compared to, you know, what we were listening to before. So already it's a bit too rough, it's a bit too saw. We don't need a saw, so let's do two things. Let's set this to a sine wave, and the sound will be much softer, and all we have to do on top of that, just to begin with, is turn on mono legato. So now the notes will kind of just slide into each other if we want to add a little bit more pimento and slide to this, and kind of just makes it flow a little bit better, so let's hear that. And I believe on the other patch I had this an octave up, so let's do that as well. And really the amp envelope is the main part of this whole thing, so let's just go ahead and tweak this. So amp envelope settings like this, kind of halfway attack and decay, a little bit of sustain, I kind of pulled it down too much, and a little bit of release, or kind of a long release actually, is kind of what gives you a sort of envelope that shapes itself to be sort of the way you would play a flute very softly. So that's kind of what I'm going for here, and we're going to do this kind of similar shape on a cutoff as well. So we can just go ahead and select our cutoff A. We haven't selected a filter yet, but let's just go ahead and kind of rough up some settings. So something like this. Of course, you know, the more you play around with it and kind of tweak it, the more you can kind of make it perfect. But we're not trying to make it perfect. We're just kind of trying to rough this up. So let's go ahead and just throw a little bit of this. So now let's turn on our filter. A low pass will do, because we're going to want to pull this down a bit. We can have also warm drive on, resonance. We can have a little bit of that, a little bit of drive. I think I had the 12 dB slope on the other one. If not, you know, again, play around with it. 24 dB slope means that it's going to cut more frequencies faster. 12 dB slope means it's going to be more open. There's going to be more frequencies as it's cutting out those frequencies. So it's kind of just going from this to this sort of thing. So let's go ahead and hear this. So it's all very soft sounding, so let's kind of bring up the key track a little bit so this kind of works with our filter. Let's turn on the distortion and all the other effects. So with distortion, I'm just going to want a little bit of overdrive, so let's hear this. And most likely this patch is going to be very quiet, so we can also just bring up the main volume. Make sure you don't clip though, you don't want to be in the red. And let's go ahead and turn on other things like reverb and delay, just to kind of give it that more classic, kind of spacious feel. So we're going to just turn off delay real quick and just work on the reverb. So I like to usually bring down the room size so that I can have a more dry wet sound, so more wetness percentage, so I can have it at halfway if I really bring the size down. So something like this. So with delay, I'm just going to pull up some low cut some of those low frequencies out of the delay. I don't want my delay to be too muddy. And let's go ahead and just kind of set this to a, like, the left side to a kind of quick sort of decay delay. And let's put this right side somewhere kind of a little bit faster, or slower, I should say. And let's pull down the dry wet because we don't want too much of that. Let's bring up with feedback. We can, again, listening to it, you can tweak it. And most important, let's turn it on because I realized it's been off, but it's okay. I wasn't really listening to it. So now let's listen and tweak. And let's add some EQ. So let's just kind of boost up some of the low mid frequencies. So let's bring this bass frequency knob up to around 800 hertz. Let's bring this up a bit. Let's bring up the gain for the treble as well. And let's put this around 1K. So we're really boosting, like, we're really going for those 1K to 800 kind of range. We're really just bringing that up. So let's listen to that. And now you can add chorus and, you know, that kind of stuff if you want. Chorus will do a pitch variation and make it seem wider, but I feel like for this kind of sound, it's kind of a very sweet, soft sound, and you might not need to go crazy with processing. So the only thing we're missing here is just kind of that little vibrato sort of sound. So we're just going to select our pitch A and B, or just our pitch A because we're only using one side. We're going to add just a slight amount of this, so like around 0.38 or so. You really have to, again, do this by ear. I usually kind of have settings that I know will work, so I kind of put the gain knob sort of around like 9 o'clock or so, and I put the rates kind of around 1 or 2, something like that. So the rate's not too fast and the gain is not too high. That's, you know, I just know that from using Sylenth for so long that these settings will work, especially on pitch. So let's hear this. So that's kind of how you would get like that bird kind of call sort of sound, or that kind of whistly part of it, or vibrato sort of feel. So that's really easy. That's the whole preset right there. I chose this one because I wanted you guys to see how easy this kind of sound design can be and how fun it is to kind of experiment and play with it. So hopefully you guys like this. I'll now play you some sounds from the bank, and hopefully you guys like all this stuff. Check it out on my website. I'll have links provided in the description, all that. So thanks guys for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoy these presets. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Thanks guys again for watching, and of course, ladies.